This story is suspicious. How does a woman go on a vacation with her fiancé to celebrate her birthday, get proposed to the very next day, all excited, fight the following day, only to unalive herself on the 5th day? 5 days in Zanzibar for a vacation, a birthday celebration, and a proposal, and on the 5th day, we are made to believe that she tried to unalive herself. The story of Ashley Robinson is raising a lot of questions because many people don't believe what is being said. On the 4th of April 2026, 31-year-old American woman by the name of Ashley Robinson, known online as Ashley Janae, arrived in Zanzibar with her 45-year-old boyfriend and fiancé, Joseph Isaac McCann. Their visit to Zanzibar was for her birthday celebration. She was turning 31, I believe. Little did she know that her boyfriend at the time had planned to propose to her. So that happened on the 5th, the very next day. So it was a surprise to her. Adding to her birthday, adding to the vacation, she gets proposed to and she is excited. However, 4 days after this proposal, she is found dead in her room and the police are saying that she unalived herself. Ashley Robinson was a social media influencer and a lifestyle content creator known for sharing travel posts as well as lifestyle posts. She had thousands of followers and she had an audience. Now, it's not known how long she and Joseph McCann had been dating or, how long they had been in that relationship. He is being described to be a cryptocurrency investor, a crypto investor per se. He is some sort of a businessman. His personal information has not been made public. And I think that is something because for a man his age, I don't doubt if he had a previous life married before, but we'll get to that in a moment. So Joseph and Ashley checked in on the 4th of April in a specific resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. A holiday getaway and a planned birthday celebration, and I think her birthday was on the 5th, the very next day. And during the birthday celebration, he got down on his knees and proposed to her. There are videos of it. It was a public proposal and it was something from a romantic movie. Now, after the proposal and the birthday celebration, they continued staying there. Everything looked good. Everything seemed peaceful. They did other activities. They fed animals. She made content. Everything was looking like a regular vacation until the 7th of April. And around the 8th of April, when hotel people in the resort heard the couples fighting. They heard them having an argument. The argument was so bad that the hotel management had to get involved. And in the process to fix the fight, the hotel management had to give them separate rooms. Their argument as a couple was so bad that Zanzibar said you people should stay in different rooms. And that was how they were given separate rooms. And they were separated like teenagers. Now, what we don't know was the reason for the argument. We don't know what they were arguing about. It's not stated. It was even said she called her parents and spoke to her parents, but we don't have the details. I guess when the story develops, we'll find out more. But as at the time of making this video, we don't know the reason why they were fighting. So they had a fight on the 7th of April, separated that night, and the very next day on the 8th, she was found unresponsive in her room. It was said it was her fiancé as well as some hotel staff who found her. Now, it's not clear the position in which she was found, but it's been suggested that it was almost as though she used the bed sheets in the room to create a situation where she could conveniently unalive herself. They rushed her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead on the 9th of April. And instantly, her cause of death was ruled to be strangulation. And they believe she did it to herself after the domestic dispute. It's almost as if there's a term for it. It's almost as if it's common when a couple fight and one person goes to unalive themselves. I think that is usually a common rhetoric in most movies. I've never really seen a story like that. It's usually, they unalive their partner and then unalive themselves. I never seen when one person, unless they try to do it for attention, it's unclear why. Now, at the time of making this story, they've run an autopsy on her, but we don't know the results yet. Her family call bullshit because they don't believe she would have done it to herself, given how happy she was to go and celebrate her birthday, to go and be there, to get proposed to? What exactly could have been the cause of the fight that would lead her to do that? As of now, the police in Zanzibar are claiming and passing it out to be that she did it to herself. That is what the police in Zanzibar is putting out there, because now they're the ones going to investigate it. This is not going to go to America because it's going to be investigated there in Tanzania. No criminal charges has been filed against Joseph. He's not a suspect. Given the situation, somehow, they believe he did not do it. However, his passport has been seized and he's going to remain there because the investigation is still open. Maybe something will come up that would raise questions and probably help pin it on him if he had anything to do with it. Now let us talk, because let me tell you something. There is a chance the man is innocent. However, I don't want to be racist, but these kinds of situation is a little too common in true crime stories, especially true crime stories in America. When a couple will seem to be in good terms, all of a sudden the man wants to take the wife out, the man wants to take the wife on a vacation, the man wants to take the wife to a resort, the man wants to take the wife to go fishing on a boat trip, go hiking, and that is when they start to do the deeds. And that is when their partners start to disappear. So it's a common thing in America. People, they even have a term for it. Oh, I saw it on TikTok recently. What they call, although the term is for when they want to pass a message to their partner, they take them on a hike and then abandon them and leave them stranded. That is their way of breaking up with them or something. But in most cases, it's like a divorce is a form of divorce. It's a form of saying, I don't want the relationship again. But they tend to create, they lead you into thinking they want it, almost as if they want it up until they don't want it. So all I need to know is, whose idea was it to come to Zanzibar or to come to Africa? Whose idea was it? It will look like it's her idea given a choice of lifestyle, but I still want to know. I still want to be sure, because if there is any indication that it was this man who led them there, whose idea it was, that is suspicious. The saving grace for Mr. Joseph is that the hotel are saying that they're giving separate rooms. So if there's evidence of that, that would also help him, because assuming they were in the same room when this happened, he would just be arrested. Another thing again would also be, if they had separate rooms, the CCTV, would it show if anybody entered that room? Because if for some reason CCTV shows him going into that room right before she was found, and how far are the rooms apart? Is it separate rooms in the same suites? Or separate lodges? It's like, you have to climb upstairs before you can go and see her, or you have to climb downstairs. If it's the same room in the same house, then that to me is really the same thing as being in the same room, and that would make the man a suspect. But if there is CCTV footage to show that the rooms are separated and far apart, and one cannot go into the other without the camera seeing it, then that is all they need to say that Joseph didn't do this. Just then, maybe Mr. Joseph is innocent, and maybe she probably did it herself. It's possible. Another thing again would also be the man's finances. It would be nice to know what the man's finances look like. If the man is being drained, if the man does not have sufficient money, if for some reason the man is in debt or is broke, then I guess maybe this is suspicious. It is also another way to not embarrass themselves and then, do that so the girl probably doesn't want to marry her and has no way to do it. Or, I don't know, there got to be something. But what would make a big difference or a big help in this case would be knowing what they were fighting about and how often they fought about it. What was the argument about? Is it infidelity? And if it's infidelity, who was cheating? Is she the one that would give a motive to the man? Is he the one cheating? Then I wouldn't know why she would want to do that to herself. It would be interesting to know what the fight is about. And if it's about money, but I believe it's just a little too convenient that it happened in Zanzibar. It's one of those things where I feel like most times going to an African country to commit certain crimes by foreigners is quite easy for most of them, especially if they are white. They can easily get away with it. If he has to pay everybody in that hotel room to change the story, I am sure that they would. If he has to pay the whole police, I don't know. Tanzania, I don't know. They have a political unrest at some point, but I hope they are not as corrupt as some countries. I will not name any name, but then it's a tricky thing. We'll be following the story, so make sure you stay updated. Anyway, let me know your thoughts.